And one of the great treats, of course, of doing my job is that you get to meet interesting people. And you get to meet some of your heroes. So they say you should never meet them, but that's simply not true, because many of them are absolutely charming and delightful. And very, very much that applies to Joan Armatrading. Joan has been on the show, I don't know, 3 or 4 times before. And every time has been an absolute delight. And I'm sure it's going to continue, because we're going to be talking to Joan in a moment, because she's celebrating her 50th year in music, or she was last year, and she came in when she was doing that. But she's now celebrating the fact that she's premiering a debut Symphony. So we'll talk to Joan in a moment, but first up, I feel I ought to play one more of her tunes. The brilliant Joan Armatrading and Drop the Pilot. And the brilliant Joan Armatrading's music is going to be appearing at the Queen Elizabeth Hall at the South Bank on November the 24th. But not music like that. This is music of a different hue. And Joan is on the line now to tell us more. Hello, Joan.
Robert, hi.
And thank you.
I hope you can hear me all right.
I can indeed, loud and clear.
Great.
So I said that you're doing something new. I mean, after 50 years in the music business, you're taking a different turn. How did that come about?
Well, it's a classical piece. I've always liked classical music from young.
Right.
And I always knew that at some point I would write a classical piece. And then one day I was in my studio and I just started writing this symphony. I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it. I didn't think, oh yeah, I just I thought today, and I started, and then I finished.
I mean, obviously, you're an incredibly talented musician, and you're used to writing songs, but it must be very different writing a symphony. It's a totally different structure and everything else.
It is different, but it's not. I mean, to me, it's just writing something. It's just writing. It's writing and arranging. And I'm sorry if it sounds a bit like, who does she think she is? But it is just writing. And I love to write. I love to arrange. I arrange my songs. And so writing a symphony is writing and arranging. And it's layers. It's thinking, well, what do I want the strings to play? What do I want the horns to play? What do I want the trumpets to play? It's just the same as what I want the bass to play, what I want the piano to play, what I want the keyboards to play. So it's kind of the same, but the structure of it is different. In terms of the layers, they're different, and in terms of the repetition, it's different. So you as in all music, you have to know the cliches of that, like the cliches of rock or pop or country and western or blues. You have to know the cliches of that to allow people to understand what they're listening to. So it's just a matter of knowing that.
I guess the other difference, though, is that a pop song or, a soul song or however you want to define, what you do, or folk song, I think, is a work where you're kind of concentrating it down. You're making it down to 3 minutes. It's got to be edited. Yeah. It's got to be tight. Whereas this is expansive. You've got to make this bigger and larger and longer. Yeah. And so you're kind of going in a different direction in that sense.
Yes, you are. You're absolutely right, Robert. But it still boils down to, for me, it's the same thing. it's just longer. I mean, still writing and arranging. I don't really know how else to tell you.
Did you have to avoid the temptation to start writing lyrics,
No, because I knew this is what I was doing. And again, it's kind of like when I was writing the trilogy of blues, rock, jazz. I stayed in each discipline because I knew that that's what I was doing. I was writing something that was blues, so I would stay there. And so I know I'm writing something classical, so I stay there. So I don't try and make it be, if I can put it like this, I don't try and make it a pop song with strings. It's a symphony. So you have to just think symphony, classical, and make it be like that. And I mean, I think I'm very lucky that I'm able to, it's not that I sat down with loads of things and tried to work out, but I've played classical music for forever, really.
What, you mean physically played yourself on a piano or something?
Well, when I wrote it, I had to play everything. Yeah. I played everything and I played all the string parts and the horn parts and the different parts. I can't play the violin, but I can play a virtual violin on the keyboards. But what I mean is, I'm not listening to things and thinking, well, how do I play that? Because you can kind of hear it.
Yeah. Do
You
you
kind of
hear it
hear it
in
and you
your
kind of
head?
know what it is.
Do you
I
hear that?
do,
Do you hear the
yes.
entirety in your head? If you see what I mean.
I, I do, and that's the thing. When I write my songs, I can hear the arrangements. I remember hearing Wynton Marsalis.
Yeah.
He said when he writes, he can hear all the arrangements, and I thought, oh yeah, that's me.
Maybe you could get him to come and play trumpet.
Oh, he is so brilliant.
He's an
He's
amazing
such a
trumpet player. Yeah.
he's such an amazing musician, creator. I just think he's fantastic.
And I guess, I
So
mean, someone like Wynton proves that Ellington adage about there's only two types of music: good music and bad music. And
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I was going to say I'm lucky because I didn't have to. Oh, I didn't. Not that I didn't have to, but I didn't go somewhere to learn how to do it or get somebody to teach me how to do it or somebody to help me to do it. I just did it in the way that I just do my songs. I just stay on my own, get it all done, and then kind of present it. And
will it be
it's
slightly nervous playing it to the world?
no more nervous than playing a song
Really?
to people. As long as I'm comfortable and confident that it's good, that's really the bit that I need. If I think it's good, then I'm all right. I'm not worried. If I think it's bad, then nobody's going to hear it. But what was great was that I played it. Well, a friend of mine said you should let the Chineke Orchestra,
Yeah.
you should let Chi Chi hear it. And when I played it to Chi Chi, who's the founder of Chineke, she said, "Well, we've got to play this. We've got to premiere it," which was fantastic. And they're a great orchestra.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we've featured them on the show before. They're a fantastic orchestra.
Yeah, they're a great orchestra. So it's very exciting for me to hear it with a big orchestra.
Will you be?
Because it was no, I'm not conducting.
I was going to say, I didn't even get beyond the
No. That's a whole different skill, and the conductor is fantastic. It's a chap called Andrew Grams. He's so good, and yeah, you need somebody who can communicate with the orchestra in proper classical terms. I mean, I can write it. I've written it. Everything you hear is what I've written, but I can't necessarily say the classical terms to the orchestra. So it's best that you get somebody who knows exactly what they're doing, and also in terms of instructing them and kind of waving your hand around in this, you've got to know what you're doing. It looks like you're just kind of waving to somebody hello. No, it's proper. It's proper instruction. So you don't want me messing up. I don't want to mess up my composition.
So what will you be doing? Will you be sitting in the stalls, or will you be on the side of the stage, or where will you be on that evening?
Yeah, I'll be sitting, watching and listening, and loving it. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's really, really exciting. It's a different excitement as well to an album coming out. It's just and I'm the composer, so I don't play anything. I mean, I played everything as I said when I wrote it, but in terms of being in the orchestra, I'm not in the orchestra, so I'm not on stage playing at the time. So that's a whole different experience for me as well, to just kind of be away from it and watch other people perform it.
How long is the piece?
It's half an hour.
Right. So I presume they'll be playing some other things as well then in that evening.
Yeah, there's a Tchaikovsky piece after my piece,
I've
and
heard
my
of
piece
him.
is just called. Yeah, I'm the support, and it's what was I saying there? I've forgotten.
Oh, I was just saying. You said it's half an hour, the piece.
Yeah. So they're playing that Tchaikovsky in the second bit.
Have you got the classical bug now? Has it sort of spurred you on to want to do more?
Oh, I'll definitely be doing more. I mean, as I say, I always knew I would do something, and I think I wouldn't be totally happy if I just did one thing. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing more. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant. Will it be recorded? Will people be able to hear it at any point?
Yeah, I hope. Yes, it should be recorded and it should come out, but you have to wait for that. I'm not exactly sure when that when the coming out part will be, but it'll be recorded and people will be able to get it later on.
Well, I look forward to that. And if anyone's got tickets or wants to get tickets, it's at the Queen Elizabeth Hall at the South Bank Centre on November the 24th. What is the piece called, Joan?
It's called Symphony No.1.
How long did it take you to think that title up?
I had to really concentrate on that one. Took the longest time.
Symphony No.1 of many, many more, I'm sure.
Yes,
by Joan Armatrading. You sound like you're really enjoying this, Joan.
I am. It's as I say, it's very exciting. It's lovely, and it is different. I mean, I'm acting as if I don't think it is different. It is different, and it's quite a thing to do. But it's not a daunting thing. It's not something to be scared of. I feel I'm capable of doing the things that I do. That's why I do them. So
I guess in almost every respect, though, you're right in that you do write everything, you do play everything, you do arrange all of your own stuff. So you're uniquely in a position to be able to do that, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and you shouldn't be scared anyway. If it's something you want to do, just have a go at it. Don't be scared of it. It's not going to, And if you don't like it, just don't let anybody else hear it. You don't have to. You don't have to embarrass yourself by saying, "I've written this, but it's horrible." But here, you have a listen.
I'm sure it's wonderful, Joe.
Oh no, it's wonderful.
If you say so yourself, no, I'm sure it is.
Absolutely, and as I say, if I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't let other people hear it. So,
well, I'm looking,
and you have to have that confidence.
I'm looking forward to hearing it, and all of those who've got tickets for the Queen Elizabeth Hall on November the 24th will, I'm sure, be looking forward to it too. Joan Armatrading, as ever, it's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a lovely woman. She's just great.